the right. It went and found 819 matches on the left, essentially, and it matched it up. If it doesn't find a match, it'll still actually show this to you at this current time. Just that it'll not try and mirror over to it. It'll just assign an undefined to the array. And then there's 84 vertices that are on the center line that essentially it's not going to deal with unless we do the mirror morph with symmetry equaling true. And that's what we want for our first step here. So I'm just going to get out of subobject over to our target. And our target is no longer symmetrical. We pulled some vertices on this side, and we need to make them push them over this side. So what I'm going to say is symmetry true, and give it a second while it thinks about it. And you can see that it popped it this side to be the same as the other side. It didn't mirror right to left in this case because we said symmetry. If you pull the center line right or left, side to side at all, it will correct that and put it back on the center of the character. But it will leave it any movement forward or back or up and down. It'll basically make sure that it's always on the X axis and correctly aligned. There's, like I said, this script doesn't take everything into account, and could cause you some problems if you don't work very cleanly and very neatly like I do with characters, making sure that you've got symmetrical characters using the symmetry modifier to start with, and you know, don't change it drastically from one side to the other. Okay, so now that we've got that mirrored side, if we go back to our jaw open, and I'll just put it there and turn on the skin, you can see now that it's not crashing into the teeth at all. And that's exactly what we want. We want to be able to open the mouth and have it look like it's pulling down over top of the teeth and sliding over the teeth. So what we're going to want to do in the next chapters is we want to be able to set this up with a control object so that when we move the control object up and down, the jaw will open and close, and our morph target will be driven at the same time at the same rate so that it will stop that top lip from sliding down into the teeth. But we'll still get a nice arc out of the lower lip, and we'll start still getting that nice pull with the jaw. We're also going to have to correct a couple other movements, and that's if we go into the, I'm just going to go to the morpher and I'll just turn off the jaw open correction, and we're going to need the bones back on the screen, and into rotation and into local. And one of the controls as well, when you move the control side to side, it's going to roll the jaw side to side as well. So we're also going to need a correction for side to side as well, so that the cheek, when it pushes to the right side of the character, the cheek on the left side actually stays out. So we're going to need two more corrective shapes just to get the jawbone to work nicely and to make it look like it's flexing nicely. This whole thing could be done with morph targets. Again, I tend to avoid it because the jaw, you want to be able to have that nice pivot point where the jaw should be pivoting. You should also, you know, it's also nice to have you know, a rotation on the jaw as it opens down. So this helps, you know, facilitate that a bit better than a morph target does, or even using compound morph targets where you've got several morph targets driving the one shape, so that you can try and get an arc out of it. Now what we'll do is we'll animate the jaw moving right and left, and I'm just going to go and reset this at this point. Move along to frame 30, turn animate on, and let's move the jaw. Let's first go to the left. So we'll correct the right side of the face. And then we can just make sure that we've done it correctly and it all works on the other side of the face. I'm just using my angle snap to make sure I get it the same on both sides. So now we have just an animation of the jaw swinging side to side and open. So let's scrub along to